Okay, hello everyone. Season's greetings. Coming up now, we've got a Super Metroid GT Classic co-op run being performed by Soren and Dice, and they're here to explain briefly exactly what's involved in that.
Yep. So Super Metroid Co-op, it's something you don't see a lot. So we're going to quickly explain what it is so you guys have a understanding of what you're seeing. So basically there's a website application called Multitroid, and both Soren and me are using original hardware. We're connecting through our PCs and we have a shared session on Multitroid. So what this means is that everything in the game, items, resources is shared between the two of us. So when I get an item, Soren gets the item. When I lose health, Soren loses health, etc. That also means if I die, Soren dies, vice versa. Um, so basically, what we're doing is we're abusing this to go through the game even faster than you'd regularly see in Super Metroid. Um, this is also a somewhat intense early game. So we will hand over the commentary to D, and for the early game, we'll probably mute the comms ourselves so we can focus on the game, just so you guys know. But yeah, having said that, D, take it away.
All right, okay. So the category they'll be running in co-op is GT Classic. To explain what that might be to people who are unaware, the GT stands for Golden Chorizo, who's a mini boss in Lower Norfair. And the reason why that's in the category title is there's this code, a developer's code, that was discovered in the game. So this is in the vanilla game. Um, and it's essentially a cheat code that was found that could be activated during the door transition when entering the room where Golden Chorizo is in Lower Norfair. And you activate the code by holding down the four face buttons, and you get essentially every item in the game, with one exception being Screw Attack, but you can collect that because it's easily available in the next room. And you get lots of health, lots of ammo, some reserve tanks. You essentially get everything that you need to be able to have a full loadout to optimally move through the rest of the game and just annihilate everything that stands in your way. So this is part of the vanilla cartridge, the vanilla game, but it is a category unto itself. So this is not a typical any percent run, but it's a run that will take advantage of the GT code. So
D,
just
do you
waiting
want
for
to
them.
count us down?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll count you down. I'll count you down from 7. Okay.
All right.
You ready?
Perfect.
You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. And sadly, because this is the vanilla game, we have to do series. But the good news is, immediately, we're going to see an example of how a multi-Troid co-op run would work. Because, as well as items, there's game events as well, shared between the two players. So, we're seeing Soren head towards the Ridley cutscene that will trigger the escape sequence, whilst Dice is waiting on the elevator. As soon as that flag's activated by Soren, it'll also exist for Dice. So Dice will be able to immediately escape in what I'm sure will be a world record time. And there we go. Okay.
There we go. Easy series world record.
So
Let's go.
I never actually checked. Did it? Does it even register it? I've never checked.
I'm not even sure, to be honest.
It was that fast. But yeah, so that's a perfect example straight away of a potential time save that can be gained through running this category in co-op. Because of the non-linear nature of Super Metroid, it definitely showcases in a co-op run how the two players can be doing two separate things in order to save time. So what we're going to be seeing first is Dice will be heading down to collect the Morph Ball and the Alpha Missile. Pick up. Soren, because Soren had to make his way through the entire series escape sequence. Soren, because it won't be necessary for him to collect those items because they're going to be shared between both players, Soren's going to be waiting to be able to access BT's room. So in order to do that, he's going to need Dice to pick up both the Morph Ball and then the Missile Pack. Because there's a red door between Soren and BT's room. So this right here is actually a crucial part of the sync that the players have with the Metroid server. We'll see if it's a fast or slow sync. And that's a fast sync. So that essentially means that Metroid was able to sync quicker with Soren to give Soren the missiles he needed before the item fanfare. If it had been a slow sync, Soren would have had to have waited 6 seconds for the missiles to register. So it's quite a significant difference, and can have an effect on the strats that they both do in the next few rooms as well. So both of them are now heading towards Green Brinstar. Since the events are shared between the two players, BT is now flagged as dead on Dice's game as well, as Soren's. So there you see Soren skipping the Terminator tank, and he's leaving it for Dice to pick up. And it has an advantage that when Dice picks up this tank, it's going to refill both Dice's and Soren's health. So Soren was able to tank all those hits and move quickly through these pirates that Dice is now shooting, but also he could conserve the missile points as well, because we've got the red door coming up that leads to the early supers sequence break right there that Soren's just opened. And while Soren's picking up the early supers, obviously Dice won't need to, so Dice can wait at the bottom of this shaft, and benefits from another fast sync in order to acquire the super missiles that Soren just picked up. And that's it, essentially, for early game. This is the point where there's going to be a significant deviation between the two routes that the two players are taking through the game. So we're going to see Soren head towards Kraid, typical of a KPDR, any classic any percent run, to kill Kraid and to get the various suits. That's going to be important later in order to be able to reach GT. Whereas Dice is taking advantage of the co-op to be able to head straight to Phantoon and to take care of a second boss. because the 4 bosses in vanilla, the 4 G4 bosses have to be killed in order to pass the statue to enter Torrent. That was an excellent red tower, by the way. Very difficult from dice heading up. And now we've got some crucial moments in the run. Possibly the most difficult part of the run, with the exception of Lava Dive and Green Gate. But for Soren, he's going to be fighting Kraid, attempting to do the Kraid quick kill. The punishment for failing it is harsh, since Soren doesn't have charge. That becomes a very difficult fight, as well as a time loss. And for dice, we've got the moat. Extremely difficult. And dice is going for the HBJ. There's 2 ways to cross the moat, the CWJ and the HBJ. Dice favors the HBJ. Nice. Second try. The Kraid quick kill, hopefully. Perfect. So that's a huge sigh of relief. I'm sure Soren just breathed. And now with Various, Soren is going to make a beeline straight to Lower Norfair to get to Golden Torizo. And he's going to encounter 2 very difficult rooms, Lava Dive and the Green Gate, where he'll have to do the Green Gate glitch. Whilst Dice is going to be taking care of the second boss. And although Dice has the benefit of having Barrier that you wouldn't normally find in new routes, he does have the disadvantage of not having charge. So Enraging Phantoon is definitely a worst case scenario that he's going to be trying to avoid. And because of the new route loadout, he'll be Doppler in Phantoon. Excellent. That was great. First round Doppler. Oh, textbook. I think Dice might have been tempted to go for the 2 round there, but the punishment, like I said, for Enraging Phantoon without possessing charge, because you won't be able to pseudo screw through the flames, it's extremely risky. But meanwhile, Soren's picked up high jump. That's to help with getting through the Lava Dive room. Extremely difficult and extremely risky. And Dice here is picking up the wrecked ship super drop. This is just to give an extra 5 missiles, 5 super missiles for Soren for his Green Gate attempts. Which is extremely difficult trick. Either frame perfect or 2 frame perfect. Depending on the run up to the gate. Nice mop ball on the pillar from Dice. Dice is currently heading towards Meridia, the Meridia tube, to wait for the GT code. But here's the lava dive. Ooh, okay. So because it's co-op, Soren can pause at that point, and Dice will be able to farm some health. So that Soren's health is increased, so the chance of death is decreased, hopefully. And it looks like that, although there's several opportunities, yeah, he's going to be using the refill station at the bottom of Red Tower. Extremely nerve-wracking lava dive. And he's through. Oh. I thought for a second that last wall jump might have been mistimed. I thought I'd spoken too soon and cursed it. So Dice is heading back just to farm this cack, just to give Soren potentially an extra super drop very quickly and easily in case he needs it. Nice. We're free. So, coming up in this next door transition, this is the entrance to GT, and this is where the point at which you'll see the code's been entered, and if it's been entered successfully, yes. So we can see from the purple suit that Samus has gravity, the code was successful, and they're away. Every item in the game, except Screw Attack, that Soren will be picking up after he's killed GT. And Dice is now on his way to be killing Dragon. 2 bosses are down, Kraid and Phantom. So Dice is taking care of Dragon, and Soren will be heading to kill Ridley. Makes logical sense since both players are closest to their respective bosses. And right there, what we saw was a technique known as microwaving. It takes advantage of, because of the full loadout now, courtesy of the GT code, it takes advantage of possessing Plasma and Charge and X-Ray. Oh, Dice went for the full halfie, didn't quite get enough frames at the top. It's fine, not much of a time loss. But yeah, back to microwaving. There are certain enemies and bosses that are susceptible to the effects of plasma, the piercing effects of plasma, and through possessing X-Ray, you're able to pause the game essentially, and during that pause, the iframes run out of the enemy that's being hit by the plasma. So if you pause the game whilst the beam's piercing the enemy, and then unpause, you can hit multiple times with the same single shot. You see that right here. Oh, just one shot left. The Dre's finished off. And now we've got Soren fighting Ridley. Ridley is immune to the effects of plasma, since in the expected route that the player would take, plasma would usually be collected already. So the developers said that Ridley would be immune to the effects of plasma, and that's also incidentally, the case why Mother Brain is not affected by the piercing effect of plasma. So neither of these bosses, unfortunately, we can microwave. Nice mid-air morph from Dice. So Dice is heading straight to G4. And essentially, because it would be expected that Dice gets to G4 first, and because of the linearity of G4 of Torian, it's only necessary for one player to go through Torian. Nice fight from Soren. So Dice will be the one doing Torian. And Soren will be making his way to the landing site where the ship's located. I'm going to see a foosball. Oh, no foosball. By the way, we forgot something. I knew we'd forget something. So, for those who are unaware, the world record for this category is 25 minutes, 1 second, and Dice and Soren have that world record. They set that time just under a week ago. Whilst they were actually preparing for this marathon. I'm surprised neither chipped in to remind me that I hadn't said that. But yeah, apologies. These Dice and Soren, these two runners, the current world record holders of this category. So now we've got a waiting game. Dice just turned off Varia and Screw Attack. Turning off Screw Attack allows you to do a conventional Zeb skip rather than a potentially more difficult Zeb skip. Having Screw turned on affects that. And turned off Varia so that Mother Brain's Rainbow Beam will deliver 7 E-tanks worth of damage instead of 3. For some strange reason, Varia is the only suit, not Gravity, that protects against the Rainbow Beam. So it just saves having to damage down. Nice, solid Metroid rooms from Dice. Nice, very nice. So we've got the Metroid. And I'm sure everybody is aware, at least I hope they are, there is such a thing as baby skip. That we're hopefully going to be seeing in a few seconds from Dice. Oh, no. That's a shame. Not an easy trick, though. Fortunately, as we can see right now, Soren is able to refill at the ship. So that benefits Dice in the sense that it minimises the time loss from missing the baby skip because he gets the health refill from Soren. It also negates in Torian itself the Metroid drops, which can be a big part. Oh. So Dice went for the speed Zeb skip there. Not a typical Zeb skip that you'll see now. There was a time when it was fairly common in certain categories. Nice ammo count. So with a full beam loadout, this is going to be 20 charge shots. Almost a perfect fight, but still a really good fight. It's very fast still. So in order to perform stand-up glitch, you need a minimum of exactly 700 health, which incidentally, by some coincidence, the GT code gives you. Ordinarily, in a vanilla run, you wouldn't have been able to perform the stand-up glitch without refilling from the reserves, but Soren was able to refill Dice's health from the ship. So I'm going to be seeing the stand-up glitch now. And another strange glitch in Super Metroid. So ordinarily you'd be fixed in a crouched position now during the entirety of this cutscene, but this glitch allows you to continue to be able to control Samus, and most importantly, to be able to start shooting Mother Brain. So all of these shots are actually doing damage. But as we saw there, when Dice got crouch locked, stand-up glitch isn't without risk. There are certain points during the stand-up when things can go wrong. And there are certain things like using X-ray that Dice just used there that can mitigate that. So the shots that Dice is getting in now is going to minimize the amount of shots that's required in the Mother Brain free phase of the fight. So basically the Mother Brain free fight will take considerably less. That's the advantage of stand-up glitch. There. Okay. And as with Series Escape, as soon as the Zeb's escape is triggered as an event, it'll also be shared to Soren. This is why we're seeing Soren suspiciously hovering outside the animals room. I wonder what that might mean. So Dice is getting to the chopper. And Soren? Did I miss it? Did Soren not save the animals? Okay, Soren's out. But the timer and the run only finishes when Dice has also escaped. Nice behemoth spot. Just a few rooms left. Oh. I don't know if this was planned, or whether there was some kind of pangs of guilt that Dice maybe have felt after seeing what Soren did. Either way, the animals are safe. And that's it. GG's to both. Congrats.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, thanks. GG's, Soren.
GG.
I wasn't sure what I was seeing there with the animals. Was that planned?
No.
Right.
We just figured it out on the spot. But we made
So how are the
everyone happy, right?
nerves?
We both killed the animals and saved the animals, so everyone is happy.
Exactly.
I guess
it's like
because I guess that's true because Soren having left, the flag wouldn't have registered in Soren's side. So yeah, we have a win-win. Everybody's happy.
we
Yeah,
have
I
like
actually noticed that
Schrodinger's
the animals
animals
didn't
right
get
now,
saved.
right? They're
What
both
is it,
alive
this?
and dead. It's like Schrodinger's animals, right? They're both alive and dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's something to point out. The not sure if you mentioned it by the way during the run because we had the comms muted. So what is nice to tell at this point. So during the lava dive Soren paused, that was actually kind of quote unquote nice that it happened because it showcases what kind of options you do have during a co-op run. Because this is kind of like a safety thing we could do, where Soren just pauses, stays there, waits for me to fill him up. Because in the regular GT Classic run, at that point you just die and the run dies. So but it was actually a nice thing to be able to showcase what co-op also means. So yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun category. It's not super competitive, but it's I have had a lot of fun with this category.
Oh yeah, same. It's really fun.
That was a lot of fun watching.
And also to point out something that Merklik was mentioning in chat, the Dopplers on Fantoon for the 2 rounds. It's actually interesting in this co-op. It's kind of funny. The runner that goes to the wrecked ship, even if you get like a 2 round on Fantoon, if you are too fast as the runner that goes to Fantoon, you have to wait until the other runner gets the GT Classic code. So there's so many nuances in co-op where if one player goes faster or slower, then you kind of have to sync up again. But usually it's not even worth it going for actual 2 rounds on Fantoon because you will always be ahead in optimal circumstances before you get the GT code. Just pointing that out. But yeah, it's an interesting run.
That was a that just reminded me that was a very nice second try HBJ. How were the nerves after you failed it for the first try?
It was pretty fine. It sometimes happens. I mean,
good.
Yeah, I guess everybody that has seen Super Metroid runs or actually has ran it, sometimes it happens at most. So getting a second try, especially in the co-op run, doesn't really matter that much. And to be honest, we were still on PB pace after Fantoon, so it goes to show you that it didn't even matter that much. So yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting run for sure.
Yeah, the lava dive definitely. I mean, if I would have gotten the lava dive, we would probably be on pace for the code as well, and could potentially PB. So it's definitely a good run, except for that part, I would say.
Well, there was very few things that did actually go wrong. It was just unfortunate that the possibly the only thing that went wrong was so costly. But that's how it goes. None of this is easy, even though sometimes it can be taken for granted because of how easy people can make it look. None of this is easy. So you did a great job.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. And yeah, thanks for wanting to commentate for us. thanks Alex for having us showcase this insanely fun run. Thanks to Soren for doing all the fun runs with me. It's been a blast so far. We will definitely continue. So just to point out, I was mentioning that we were running on console, but just for everybody watching, do realize that even you can also run this on emulator. There are emulators that allow you to connect to Multitroid and play this. You could even mix it up. You could play with one person on an emulator, the other on hardware. So definitely try it if you're interested in Super Metroid. It's really fun. If you're interested in the speed run, visit the Discord, Super Metroid Discord. Yeah.
Oh, and also as well, it's maybe worth pointing out in regard to Multitroid that it's not limited to just 2 players. I think I was reading that there was no theoretical limit, but it had been tested with up to 8 players. So there's more room than for just more than 2 players as well to enjoy this.
Yeah,
good call.
It also supports like races and bingo and stuff like that, and even randomizers. So there is a lot of content on Multitroid, and I really think that they did a great job on developing this.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
I think we can sign off with this. So yeah, thanks again to Alex, obviously, for this marathon. Thanks to ESA for co-streaming it as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thanks again, Soren, D. Thanks everybody watching.